You know, I figured with how much larger the scope of this game is compared to a lot of the other games that it would be a lot more parts, but I don't think we're gonna breach 30. Because, I mean, like, let me see. Right now, our part count is at like 23. Maybe we will breach 30, but only barely. Or we'll be just under it, but we're gonna still be in the 20s, and all the other series so far have been in the 20s as well. Cause like, let's see, Majora's Mask was the shortest, I think. Wind Waker was 24. Majora's Mask was 20 on the dot, yeah. And then Ocarina of Time was also 24. It counting the closing thought videos that I do. Wow, the fact that Ocarina of Time and Wind Waker were both on 24 on the dot. This one won't be 24. This one's definitely going to be over 24. I mean, I think this game's just longer. Like what, I'm at almost like 50 hours, I think? Now, you could probably shave off like a combined like 8-ish hours of breaks and pauses and... Not 8 hours. 8 hours is a lot to think of breaks and stuff, of playtime. Maybe like a couple hours of me taking breaks and pausing and stuff like that. Anywho, hey there. Last time we went to the Sky City, the ancient Sky City of the Uka. And we helped them with their little dragon problem, and we got the dual hook shots, which is one of the coolest, I think, item upgrades in the game. Or it just makes the hook shot, I mean, twice as cool, literally twice as cool. Now you can just flip around all over the place. I wish there was more opportunity outside of the Sky City to use this. We're pretty much going to be doing everything that we need these for specifically in like the next 10 minutes. So first things first, we're going to be warping over to a familiar little mini game over in Castletown, where we used the hook shot last time, but he said he was going to shake things up on us. Now, we haven't been there since, but now that we have a little surprise of our own, it should work out just fine. And apparently, for doing this, we're going to be getting there is a giant quiver in the game. Even though there's only one bomb bag upgrade, which is fine because there are 3 bomb bags. Oh. Sup, Buster? Greetings, Mr. Link. Come to deliver a letter? But for you 2 letters. Oh. On with the mail. Okay, what do we got going on? Challenge for you, Perlo. Oh, this is literally where we're going. Ladies and gentlemen, the star game that has swept Hyrule by storm is now available in Castletown. Even those of you who have beaten it once will find all new challenges and thrills. Come find us in the tent on the Westgate Road. We'll be waiting. Wow, kid. Awesome. My son, from Junior. My son said that he wanted to write you a letter. He worked so hard on it. Goodness, yes. We thank you for all your help, both on land and in the sky. The other Uka, thank you as well. Come visit us anytime. Take care. Wow, kid. Awesome. little baby Uka boy trying to figure out another language, and he knows wow, kid, and awesome. That's so funny. That's so adorable. That's nice to get a little letter, because yeah, we would have talked to them, and they had some end dialogue after the fact, after we beat the boss, which was nice. I appreciated that. What are you looking at, dude? You like dogs? They're cute, huh? If you throw a bone or something and bring it back, you know? You should play with one and have some free time. Hold on, you. Now I want to pick up bone. There we go. No, wait. No, stop. I'm just trying to play with this dog. Oh, criminy. Hi, boy. Go get it. I didn't know you could do this. What a good boy. What a good boy. Look at his little run animation. It's really good. You dropped the bone, boy. That's alright, bud.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy, I awaited you, good sir. The style game created with you in mind, good sir. It's a special arena that costs 15 rupees a shot. Dare try it. Yeah, I'll do it. Many thanks, good sir. The game will begin once you enter the cage. May chance favor you. Good sir, are you at the ready? Then away we go. He put... Oh, okay, yeah, sure. That's fine. He literally did the whole thing with traps. Okay, so he just wants me dead. He wants to kill me. The freaking fangirls in the background. It's so silly. I mean, Link is kind of a stud, you know? Boy from the country in the big city. With his double hook shots. What could be better than this? I don't know if we need to get everything. I didn't look. He also didn't really give me the parameters of the thing again. So you need to grab a lot more than 2 at a time to get Okay, well we got everything. What the? You did it? Oh, what a magnificent day this is. The debut of a superstar. Let huzzas and accolades ring forth. To the superstar I shall give you this. There's a big quiver now. It holds 100. Now, that's right, we're not working with 99 anymore. We don't have those N64 limitations anymore. We can get 100 arrows in a quiver now. Congratulations. Yes, well, and truly, and you've changed. Oh, you've claimed what you sought, and you're likely all through. Many thanks for playing, good sir. Don't come again. Literally filled it with spikes. You're a rude dude with a bad toot, but all's fair. That do something for you guys? It's so silly. Oh, what was that noise? Oh, criminy. That one made me feel not that good. Okay, well that was one thing out of the way. Now we're going to be going to exiting Castle Town from the south, which I didn't do. It's going to be a little tiny, oh, I know where this is. All right, so I'll see you there. We're going to get another freaking stamp. Probably the only things we're going to be really collecting at this point in the game are stamps. I have a feeling a lot of the stamps are probably on the different floors of the Cave of Ordeals, which in this game is definitely more difficult than Wind Waker's. I don't think it's going to be difficult enough for us to worry about it. I almost wonder if we could have or should have upped the difficulty, or played on one of the harder difficulties where you take more damage and stuff. But I mean, just taking more damage and not getting hurt from anything isn't really like a particularly balanced mode, you know? That doesn't really read to me as like being a balanced or interesting form of difficulty. I don't know how you'd make a Zelda game more difficult. Or if you would even want to, right? I think the fact, the way they are right now, just being a sort of a casual romp, I think that's probably okay. It's probably good where it's at. I mean, do you really want to be like stressed out, sweating when you're playing a Zelda game? I think both of the Wild Strikes are pretty good balance. Oh. Wait, does this take me somewhere? Like Hylia. Crud. Alright, I'll see you in a second. Oops. Got a little overzealous. Messed it up a teensy bit. Okay, here we are. I don't know if this is gonna work. Oh. It did. Do I want to be right here? I don't know. I don't even want to be right here. This is how you get back up. Okay, I understand. I understand. Hold on, folks. I've got this on lock. You just buckle up and watch this. Pro freaking gaming. And bada boom. Nice. And for the trouble, we get the letter V. How exciting! Bravo, bravo. Okay. Now there's also a piece of heart nab. Going to Kakariko Gorge. Which means we gotta warp again. Kakariko Gorge is... I mean, is this it? Is this the gorge or is this the gorge? No, oh, it literally says Kakariko Gorge. I'm a fool. I am a fool in sheep's clothing. Pay me no mind. Okay. No, it said it's going to be in the northeast. Nope, I was wrong. Northwest. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Other side. Just gonna run over there. I don't really see the point. Again, kind of the problem with introducing the ability to summon opponent wherever you want so late into the game is that it's like I'm just never really in a position to want to do that. Kind of the same thing with the wallet. I suppose you could have saved the Mallow quest for later, but we had so many bugs at that point that we had all the money that we needed. So getting a bigger wallet at this point is kind of just a it's kind of just to service our magic armor. To be completely honest. Okay, let's just climb back. Indeed we do, not bad. Awesome, and there it is. Okay, and then that's everything that we can do with, that's literally everything you can do with dual hook shots. Outside of, out in the overworld. It's kind of a shame, because, I mean, they're really cool. And the Sky City is really, like, I think it was a really interesting, playing it again, it was very well designed. It was a very interesting sort of trek, like, trying to figure out, like, because having two hook shots sort of makes you rethink everything, and it makes you look out for more setups and things like that. So it's kind of a shame that this is all there really is to do with them outside of the one dungeon. But at least the dungeon was really good, though. It was really well designed, a lot of verticality. But yeah. And with that, it's time to get back to the main quest already. We have all the pieces of the mirror, so we're going to head on over to the Gerudo Desert, the Arbiter's grounds, and piece that back together. I'll see you in a second. Okay, without any further delay, we have a lot of stuff ahead of us for today. I mean, both for this part and just also this today, as far as recording goes in general. I might try to beat the game today. I said that yesterday when I was recording, which is actually when I recorded the first opening segment of this video. But then other stuff came up, and I wanted to do some stuff with friends. So I think I'm going to maybe actually try today. It depends, because we still have some side things to do. We have the Cave of Ordeals. That's actually the only side quest we have. We also have fishing. I've decided, I think I'm going to make fishing the closing thoughts. I'm going to do fishing while I do the closing thoughts. I thought that would be kind of nice. It both provides a nice background to look at as I convey my closing thoughts. It's a simple task that doesn't require too much active thinking. The fishing in this game is like it's just completely it's like super easy. You literally just hold back non-stop. That's literally all there is to it. And then also it provides really nice music. I'll probably just use the fishing hole music because it's a really, really nice track that would fit well for the closing thoughts video. So that's probably when I'll do the fishing. Since it's not really like a necessary thing, it doesn't lead to anything. It doesn't lead to any collectibles that give you any other items or upgrades of any sort. It's sort of just like if you want to catch some fish, then go catch some fish, you know? That'll be like a little bonus episode. But yeah, in order to fuel this leg of the adventure, I have created a terrible, terrible concoction of 3 unfinished things of soda. One from Burger King, one from McDonald's. I have not had a good week as far as eating goes. I need to be better. I'm getting like heartburn and stuff. And then also like a dash of Pepsi. I have put it all inside of one giant 32-ounce cup, and I am probably not going to drink all of it because good heavens, that'll kill me. But I figured it's better than wasting it. I'll give it the old college try. Let's see, what does it have? It has Pepsi, Cherry Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, and Fanta. So I used to do combinations like this all the time when I was a kid. Anytime I was at a fast food restaurant of any kind, I would just do suicides because it was, I don't know, I just like the flavor. Don't really have opportunities to do that now since you kind of just order everything online now. But anyways, you can call me a freak. You would be right. Bottoms up. Oh, it's, you know, the potency of it. It's just because it's so flat. It's all so flat. I shouldn't do this. It doesn't taste great. I feel like what I've done, especially since the Dr. Pepper wasn't just flat, it was also watered down because it had ice in it. I shouldn't do this. If I'm gonna drink a nice sugar drink, I should get something like not... This is disappointing. I feel like what I'm tasting now, I'm like just tasting the watered down syrup of 3 flat sodas. You know what? I'm better than this. I'm better than this. I'm gonna treat my body right by getting a different soda. Hold on. Okay. So, okay, change of plans. To fuel this leg of the adventure, I have something called Starry. It looks like an off-brand, off-brand Sprite or 7-Up that you would get at like a gas station. It's just like an off-brand soda, like when you find like Pib or like Shasta. Or like, you know, a soda where it's like, oh yeah, this just tastes like other sodas, but it's cheaper, you know? Or like Dr. Thunder or something like that. That's more apt. Like something when you get like a Dr. Thunder or like something that just says cola on it. It's Starry. However, apparently this is actually made through, okay, it's not made through. It's bottled by Pepsi, so they can't be held responsible for the taste if it sucks or if it fails. They did not make the taste. they only bottled the stuff, but it's supposed to be lemon lime, so we'll see how it goes. Ooh, spicy. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's freaking 7-Up. I don't know. Maybe it's like slightly sweeter than 7-Up. I haven't had 7-Up in a while though. Or like maybe a little bit more. Maybe Sierra Mist is more apt. Maybe it's more like, I've always figured Sierra Mist is a thing. Because Sierra Mist, Sprite, and 7-Up, it all seems the same. Anywho, quiet time. I love the way it goes in like that. Some call our realm a world of shadows, but that makes it sound unpleasant. Oh, I like this remix of Midna's theme. As a ruler who fled her people, I'm hardly qualified to forgive you.
Pure light with youth. With word.
Seems like everybody knew about me before I did. That's why when I found you, I thought I could use you, Link.
Do it for again.
Only I cared about returning our world to normal. I didn't care what happened to the world of light, not at all.
And this word shall net roots.
Oh, this song. This song always plays after... in boss rooms after we defeat the boss. I didn't realize this is Midna's... It also has Midna's theme in it. It's the melodies wrapped in it, up in it as well. That's a really nice touch. Except it feels less dissonant. Feels like maybe they changed it to a major chord. I could be wrong about that. Sounds more light though. It sounds more at ease, I would say. To witnessing the selfless lengths that Princess Zelda and you have gone to, your sacrifices. I know now in the bottom of my heart that I must save this world too. There is no other way. If we can just defeat Zant, the curse on me will dissolve. We may be able to revive Zelda. Let's go, Link, for Zelda. For all of this world. For once, the sages slash higher powers are not triumphant in these games, because in Wind Waker there weren't sages, but we had the sort of the divine entities that were Valoo, the Deku Tree, and Jaboon, right? Who all had their moments in aiding us, and they still needed help, but they all had their own moments of aiding us along the quest, as well as us being tested by the gods in that game. In this game, though, we are... everybody has essentially failed. The spirit beasts have failed, the sages have failed. It really is just up to Link and Zelda, and by extension, I would say, Link and Midna, and by extension, I would say Zelda. Even though she's not here anymore, her presence is still felt because she gave us a second chance. It is Yeah, it is a somber moment, and I mean, like, so the reveal, it's like, presumably you would have been able to piece together that Midna is an important. She's not just some member of the Twilight tribe. Clearly, she seems to hold some sort of importance in the world or to the people, beyond just being a member of the tribe, right? That seems pretty safe to assume, pretty safe to piece together. But still, I mean, like, as a reveal, it's still a great reveal, and also showing why she was acting the way she was, why she acted with in such an uncaring, malicious kind of way. Because everything that she ever cared about was taken away from her, and she only cared about getting it back. And I think that's fair, because it's the same thing as Link. But, I mean, essentially, Link was presumably in the same position after watching everybody in his village get taken away and stolen away, and watching his home get steeped in Twilight. Presumably, Link also felt the same way, only caring about. But along the way, both of us, Link first, of course. Midna conceded to having us aid other people because it also eventually would help her in her goal. Our goals were connected in that way. But Link, on the other hand, our main goal of saving the kids, saving Ilya, with getting everybody back home, that goal was always kind of pushed into a secondary position over the overarching goal of purifying the land and saving Hyrule, as being its chosen one. It's not an easy road. We had to sacrifice along the way in order to do it. But it's a choice that Link made, and so seeing that sort of selfless act, those selfless actions, sort of impose or imprint onto Midna in a way. It's nice. It's really nice to see. It's a very good arc between these two. Like I said, I mean, they fill each other's gaps, and they always have. And it's very nice to see that come along here in the end. But yeah, with that, it's finally time to go to the Twilight Realm for the first time. It's a great build-up. I mean, like, the whole second half of the game is building up to this, right? Well, because first you do the Arbiter's Grounds, and then to discover that the mirror is broken. So everything else up to this point is building up to this moment where you finally actually get to go to the Twilight Realm again. Also, seeing Zant just be able to wave a hand and change Midna into the form she has now is, well, it shows what we're up against. We've got to face it out of the way. Listen, Link. Can I ask you one last selfish favor? Regardless of what my reasons may have been, I once abandoned this world. I left behind the Twilight, those who had followed me, who considered me their ruler. Even now, they remain here suffering. They believe that help will come to this world. But if they were to see that the only help for them was a hideous little imp, don't you think they'd feel let down? It's only for a little bit longer. Do you mind if I continue to hide as your shadow while you're in human form? I'm sorry. I like how, obviously they do that for gameplay reasons, right? But I do like how they give it, they contextualize that in the narrative as well. I think that was a good, meaningful way to do that. But yeah, we're in the Twilight realm, a realm that is always steeped in the hour of twilight. It is nice. It does have a strange serenity to it. Serenity to it. Strange though that there's no like bodies of land or anything. You'd have to wonder how they even managed to get this far with it. As you can see, there's some Twilight beasts that look a little bit different. Wait, this guy isn't an enemy, Link. They might look different, but they're the inhabitants of this world. They're my people. Zant, how could he? Now, the really disturbing thing is that you can actually cut all these people down. You can kill them, and then when you manage to cure this place, they will be gone. Like they will be gone and dead. It's I think they stay gone. It's really disturbing. It's really grim. I don't know why they would let you do that, but yeah, you can get a good look at just what Zant's power has done to everybody. I do like how this sort of furthers the juxtaposition between. I think juxtaposition is the right word. Let me actually check. I think I've used that a couple times now, and I'm unsure every single time. Juxtaposition. The fact of two things being seen or placed together with contrasting effect. Yeah. Okay. The juxtaposition between Zelda and Midna. Zelda is a princess who made a very difficult choice, but then stood by her people and stayed in her kingdom despite that choice. She could have ran away. In fact, I mean, there's even precedent for that. Can't progress yet, that's for sure. Oh, he just pushes us down. Oh, I I didn't know there was still a hole in the bottom there. That's funny. Off to a great start. I mean, there's even precedent for Zelda fleeing. Now, granted, because in Ocarina of Time, she does the same thing. Now, granted, in Ocarina of Time, Zelda's a child, so, like, her fleeing makes sense. But then even when she's an adult in Ocarina of Time, she still helps guide Link along the way. She doesn't become directly involved, but she still stands by her people. And so does Zelda in this game. She stands by her people. And immediately you can hear the music. Last time getting to fight some of the Twilight versions of enemies. Gotta appreciate that. Oh, we got new ones too. I love how there's just Zant's giant head. It's really scary. Like it's genuinely upsetting. Oh, I guess I should have figured that. I guess I should have figured that arrows wouldn't work. It's a giant metal helmet, but I don't know. I mean, arrows work on a million other things. You know, it's funny. They have pots look different, the architecture looks different, the enemies look different, but the chests and the keys still look the same as they do in the Light Realm. Which is just, obviously that's a gameplay thing, right? But I mean, they went through the trouble of having unique boss keys in a couple different dungeons, so I don't know. But yeah, I mean, look, even the pots look different. They made like multiple different kinds of pots just for this realm. strange choices. Yeah, but the juxtaposition between Zelda, who stood by her kingdom, stood by her people, to the bitter end, and Midna, who fled, you know. I think that does a lot to, what happens if we walk in this stuff? Oh, right. Link, be careful. This black fog is made up of shadow crystals created by Zant. They blot out light. He's responsible for stealing the light from the spirits and turning our world into Twilight. Well, your world into Twilight. But he's not all-powerful. We're prepared too. I can turn you back to your normal state whenever you need me to, so don't worry. How many dog bites does it take to get to the center of the main head? Oh, same amount of hits. Oh, you don't say. Now, there is going to be heart pieces to get, stamps to get, and the likes. This is essentially a dungeon. This whole realm essentially acts as another dungeon. So, important to keep in mind. I mean, complete with mapping and compass. So, keep that in mind. Oh. Hold on. Oh, I see. But yeah, I mean, I think it's cool because, like, because the one thing that sets this game apart, just tonally and like sets the whole vibe of this game apart. Ooh, jeez. Pretty intense look, although not as intense as the freaking grin Midna gets when she pulls out the fused shadow. That was some bleak stuff. But also, I mean, so Midna fled, still intending to help her people, but she fled all the same. And she turned to a, like, dark magic that cursed her people to this existence to begin with, in order to help her people. Which was an extreme decision to make. An extreme decision that's comparable to the decision that Zelda made in order to give her kingdom up altogether instead of fighting to some bitter end. Maybe both decisions are questionable. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're both completely understandable. It's, there's no right or wrong answers here. But I think what that also shows is that although they are different, the two of them are very different people, different rulers. Or no, even though they're both very different people, they might be very similar rulers ultimately. That's right, folks. You had Phantom Ganon, now we have Phantom Zant. I do like how he's like a hologram, though, instead of being like some sort of ghostly figure. to summon. Okay. Now we can nab whatever the heck this is.
For the crystal dust.
The shining sphere illuminates this world. It's called a soul.
Open.
It's like the sun of your world, Link. Oh. But it's like a tiny little orb? The power of the soul is the source of life in this world. It is pure power. As long as you have this. Would you take the soul to the Twilight at the entrance of this world? Please, Link. I like how Midna is actually she's going to be acting more as a guide than usual. If you couldn't piece together what's about to happen though, by taking a good look at this giant hand. I wonder what giant hands usually get us in these games. That's right, folks. We are being pursued actively. However, we do have the added benefit of... Well, first off, it's going slow. Secondly... we can just hookshot it. Which they don't tell you. You're gonna have to figure that one out on your own. I was so confused all the time when I was a kid trying to do this. Crazy, my mom showed me some, graduation pictures. I haven't thought about graduation, from high school in such a long time. Pete's sake. Ghouls. Now hold on, can I? Okay. That'll buy us some time. Oh. Oh gosh, I don't like that you can just hear it coming. It's awful. Leave me alone. Please. Now, no doubt, you could see that this is something. Oh. Can he not come over here? Looked like maybe he can't come over here. That'd be great if he couldn't. I hope he stays over there forever. I hope he withers and dies, even. Oh, that's the heart piece. Okay. Neat. There should have been a compass somewhere around here. Oh, but it's a slope. It's a slope. Nobody panic. We're dealing with slopes. There's so many enemies. They start populating the areas with so many more enemies. Hey, this Starry Lemon Lime stuff is caffeine free. Now they make up with the no caffeine by putting 65 grams of sugar in it, which frightens me to my core. That's right, we can cure the people now. Can't talk to them. I don't know if we ever get to talk to them, but we actually get to see what they look like. Now, presumably they were just this is what they ended up looking like after generations, right? But got tiny little guys. This is presumably what they ended up looking like after so much time had passed. There should be one more soul. If we can find that, it should lead us to Zant. Duly noted. Now, there was supposed to be a compass. So I'm gonna check for the compass, because that's gonna help us get the other things we need. Also, I don't know if you realized, but that heart piece we got, that means we only have one more heart piece to get in the entire game. Like, we're really coming down to the wire now. But I'll see you in a second. So apparently the compass was supposed to be in this room? Oh my gosh, it's right there. Don't know how I missed that. I'm glad I came back and got it. Would have been silly to miss that. Yeah, because look at this. Yeah, look how many chests there are going to be up ahead. Oh, see? It's called the Palace of Twilight, but yeah, basically the whole Twilight realm is just in and of itself. It is the whole thing is the dungeon. Only 4 floors, not as extensive as other ones, but well, we know where our guy is now. Okay, so now we just gotta go back out, up and out. I'll see you outside when we're gonna be on our way to the east corridor now. Okay, here we are. Now we can finally move over here. It's a very eerie looking place, though. You couldn't blame somebody for looking at this place and thinking that it might be not a good place. Maybe a bit on the eerie side. Well, a bit on the evil side of things. But but that's why you can't really judge places. You know, don't judge a book by its cover, right? It is exactly what it is. It is just a place. It is just a different kingdom with different people in it. Oh. How do we get to... Yeah, how are we supposed to... Am I forgetting something? That's what I want to know. Am I forgetting something? Maybe... Well, so there's these... These. No. Oh, interesting. We can actually see through the fog like that. It's kind of cool. We can't get back up now, though. Am I dumb? That I can't seem to piece together what we're doing here? I don't really understand. Oh my gosh, yeah. I just didn't look up. Okay, so I am dumb. Confirmation. That was my fault. Oh, it's weird. Our shadow actually extends on top of this thing, even though it's just light. Ow. Oh, I wonder, can I hit those back? Oh, I got him. Gotta get back up though. I forgot, can you hit those energy balls back, or do you knock them back with your shield, maybe? Or are you just supposed to hack at those guys? Ooh. That movement. Who am I kidding? There's no movement in normal Zelda. There's only movement in only kind of in speedruns of this game. Zant, the all-powerful usurper, using the ancient magic of the Demon King, and in order to try to keep us out, he puts locks on doors. Oh, we do still need to kill them all at once? I figured being in this realm, we could just, Why didn't I kill the last guy? I locked onto all of them. I guess if you hit a wall, it's just over. There we go. Security's getting a little more intense on us. Oh, wow. So we can hook shot points all over the place. There's chests all over the place, too. Oh, no, we're not here. We want to be over here. Let me see what we need to be getting all together, too. The Zant stamp, okay. That makes sense. Oh, our final piece of heart, and then that stamp, and that's it. At least for this section, or this corridor, I should say. Which means that should be our last piece of heart. Which is weird if that's true. Oh no, small key. Wait, there's one more chest in here though. That should be our last piece of heart. If that is just it for pieces of heart, then that's wild. No, please. Gosh dang it. Oh, it's the map. I was completely wrong. Oh, I see. The piece of heart's probably where we came from, but we're gonna need the orb for that. So let's keep heading through. I do like how we get the Twilight music again one final time. Alright, let's do it. We know what the drill is. We got a little cutscene this time, that's kind of cool. Million plants. Whoa! Oh, these ones you don't have to kill all at once. poofing all over the place. Not bad, not bad. Time for round 2 of this. Except as we saw, all the areas leading up to this had freaking slopes in them, so wish me luck. We all know how good I am at anything. Oh, they're just throwing anybody at us now. Oh, wait. No, thank you. I don't want what you're selling. Have mercy on me. I think this was an interesting inclusion of floor masters and wall masters, right? I think they fit the Twilight vibe a lot, and they make them and to give them like a more extensive role to play here in a dungeon is pretty cool. I mean, Nintendo loves the giant hand villains, right? Like Master Hand, freaking Godans. You got your Godans, you got your Androsses. I'm feeling like I need to buy myself time because we have to actually go back a bit to get to where we need to go. Then we can go up here. Should be able to hook shot it from down there. Okay, let's keep going. This room was a mess of slopes and stuff. Yeah. Now what we could do is skip the chests, come back after, because we'll be able to access everything in a different way if we come back after this point. Oh, I see what we need to do. Oh, crap. Oh, got away from me. Come back here. We can also light these things up now, as long as we stand near them. So that is an option and a choice that we have. I'm gonna wait for him to get closer over here. We still have like 70 arrows, which is crazy. Go all the way. We do. And we're free. We'll have to come back for those chests. I hope you'd get to talk to the other people of Twilight, because making them just make noises is kind of an odd... It's kind of an odd choice if they only ever get to make noises, you know? Light filled the Master Sword. Its blade glows with a golden light in the Twilight realm. With it, you can cut through the dark fog. Amazing. The power of the souls has been transferred to your sword. The guardian deities of my world are on our side too. You really are the chosen one, Link. A true hero. As long as you have that sword, you should be able to repel the shadows Zant has spread. I like that little detail she says. Okay, so now in this world, the Master Sword is even more powerful. It's been imbued with light, which is super cool. I like the idea that, like, the deities of this world too, any of the spiritual beings in this world that embed the that create the souls, which are, like she said, are basically the sun in this world, which is the only source of light that these people have in this world. I like the idea that they too are working with us. So now we have like this combination of both Light Realm and Twilight Realm deities on our side that are empowering us and empowering our blade. It's really interesting. Now there are two chests on either side. I don't know how we're supposed to get to them though. Oh, I see. Hold on. Oh, we just have like... there were just more elevators now. And with that, that's it. We have all the heart pieces. No more heart pieces. They're all gone now. Which is crazy. We're here already. I feel like I just started this game. Gosh, it goes by fast. 50 rupees. I have been playing pretty frequently. And I've been playing for quite a few hours too at a time. I do love how the Master Sword looks now, with that added power. And now we can go and start tackling the main bulk of the area, which is the actual palace itself, not just its western and eastern corridors. I love the design. They feel very like just very oppressive sorts of structures. I like how there's no windows or anything on them. They're like very dystopian, very what would the what would be this design? Well, it reminds me a lot of the kind of architecture depicted in the concept art in for Ico. Granted, Ico was influenced by... Actually, is that right? Ico was influenced by Zelda? Or was Zelda influenced by Ico? Questions. Well, obviously, Zelda came first. But the artist that inspired the art for Ico and Shadow of Colossus, that artist is very much like kind of reminds me of the outside of these buildings. It's very harsh, smooth, windowless design for these massive structures. What the crud? Oh, what are these now? Oh, Kobe. Yeah. Oh, I got that one too? I'm kind of amazing. I'm gonna be honest. I take everything I've ever said against me back. I'm actually a god of video games, which is not the most impressive thing to be a god of, but, you know, I'll take it. Oh, well, this is just gonna be a key. Whoa! Oh, we one-shot these guys now. One moment, just need to see. Nope. Nothing else to get. Nothing else to get in this dungeon. We just got the dungeon in the end ahead of us. Okay. Thank you. Get away from me. No, no, leave me alone. Which would be why there's not as many, there's still going to be chests here to get, but I would imagine for the final dungeon, there shouldn't be any chests to get, right? Because what would be the point? Oh, we got Twilight Beasts as normal enemies now. There are still chests to grab here, although I don't know exactly where and why. No. No, please. Up, Link, up. So many freaking burrows. Oh, the big key. I was about to say, I'm like, this is pretty extensive. For a chest that's gonna give us like 50 rupees when we'll almost fill up, like full up, and we also don't need rupees anymore. I mean, okay, there's always gonna be a use for rupees because we can, like, so there's always gonna be a use for rupees because of the fact that we can. The fact that we can use them for our magic armor. What the heck? What invisible wall nonsense is that? Ugh. No more foghorn birds, please. Have mercy on me. We need a small key. I can see where we're going to spawn the small key. Oh, we need to kill this guy. I see. Nope, didn't seem like we could hit that energy ball back. I do love that there's just this giant Xant heads. It's so weird. And it's so creepy to just see out of nowhere. Oh crud. When they hit stuff, they do just straight up sound like laser beams. Well, you want to spawn 15 more? That's what I thought. Okay. What we got now? Look, just massive empty exteriors. Let me look up what that artist was really quick that I was talking about. Oh, Giorgio de Chirico. Yeah. Would use just very minimal color palette, huge structures with like very minimal details and stuff like that. It really feels like that in this place. Although this place is much darker color palette and stuff. Oh, I hit him. Come on. Nope, sorry, gotta be at exactly the same time. There's one key for this place. Oh, right, you gotta make choices. I guess up here? There's a pot down there. No, please. No, please. Like, it's slowly watching the beam move towards you, like, no, please, don't do it. Oh. Just looking right down at me. It's haunting. Ow. Oh, there anything else I can do? Anywhere else I can go? Oh, I can come up here. Nice. If I can get this room in one go, I'll be impressed. Nice. Nothing but keys. Which makes sense, to be fair. Yeah, I mean, like, it's a big habit that, I mean, I think it's just because I've been playing so many of these games that I've been trying to get all the chests, right? But, like, normally when I would play these games, I would totally forget that you would need a big key by the end of, dungeons. So I would just completely forget about that. Oh, the final approach. Dozens of Twilight beasts. But as we've seen, the Twilight beasts come from the people who live here. Now granted, the ones that we've been fighting are probably don't have anything to do with the Twilight beasts. Well, I mean with the people, the ones that come from the people that we've seen when we first got here, because you could see that the lines running through the ones that were turned in civilians that come from civilians, the ones that we see outside the palace, before we get the two soul orbs. They all have blue lines running through them, whereas the ones that we've been fighting have red lines. Now maybe there's like a transitionary period, and once they have red lines, they become fully beasts. That no longer have any sort of humanity to them. Maybe it's like a process that happens over time. It's a grim thought that we might have been killing members of the people of Twilight this entire time without even knowing it. I mean, well, Midna would probably have known, but even she was like, if you see the Twilight beasts, you gotta fight them, and you gotta kill them. It's the only way. Well, anyways, with that, here we are. And after all this time, after multiple confrontations, and hearing his name uttered throughout the entire series, we get maybe, well, what is for sure the best boss fight in this game. But also, what is arguably one of the best fights in the entire series. It's at least top 5. Here's the thing. Boss fights are always cool, but Zelda bosses are more like puzzles, right? Once you figure out the puzzle, they're pretty arbitrary, they're pretty easy. I don't feel like that's crazy to say, right? They're more for the spectacle. They're the thing waiting for you at the end of the dungeon. They're the final puzzle to figure out and to triumph over. And they're meant to be a spectacle, a huge sort of cinematic part to sort of bookend each dungeon. They rarely feel like full-on fights. I would say the fight with Ganon in Ocarina of Time is a really good boss fight. Bongo Bongo's a really good boss fight. Just the setting, the vibe, the fact that it feels like an actual fight against something too. The fight with Majora is a particularly good boss fight. Not Twin Rova, the twin worms that you fight in Majora's Mask. That's a pretty good boss fight. In Wind Waker, obviously I love the worm, I love the setting, I love the music. That's a cool fight. Not too involved, but it's still cool. And in this game, I would say obviously the serpent is an amazing sequence. The fact that it has 2 phases, the build up to it, it's pretty cool. Fighting Yetta is a cool reveal. And the setup for that is put the build up to that's pretty cool. But this fight, here's the thing. Do I think this is the best fight in the whole series? No. That fight actually belongs to Skyward Sword, and we'll get there. And we'll talk about Skyward Sword's fights, because Skyward Sword's boss fights feel like a lot of them feel like fights. Like you versus someone else in a duel to the death. We'll get to that. But this is easily maybe the second best. I'm biased, because the fight that I'm thinking of in Skyward Sword, I'm biased for it, because I think everything about it, from what it is, what you do in the fight, how the fight plays out, the music in the background, the tempo leading up to it, I think everything around... I love everything around the boss that I'm thinking of in Skyward Sword. However, this is you could argue for sure. You could easily argue that this is one of the best boss fights, if not the best boss fight in the entire series. You could argue that. So let's check it out. All right, let's do it. If you ever hear somebody say that they turned their eyes to the heavens and found a god after doing stuff, after acting like that, I wouldn't trust it. It seems like it might not be good. I love the reveal that Zant is unhinged. He has this air of being cool and calm and collected all this time. And then you finally meet him face to face, and the mask literally comes off. Ganon's theme. What better god for a man who just wants power all to himself? What better god than Ganondorf? My god had only one wish. To merge shadow and light and make darkness. The music too. So as you can see, he takes us to every single place that has ever been touched by Twilight. And what he expects, and what you have to do is recall every single thing you ever did in all those places. The reveal that Zant is just a child He's just a child who didn't get his way. So he threw a fit. All of this was just him throwing a fit, basically. It's that kind of... It's that motivation. It's the kind of motivation that is both... What makes it good is that it's such a bad motivation. Because deep down, it's like, yeah, he talks about what the royal family did. He talks about what the royal family... I love how his fight theme, it remixes every single other fight theme too. And I love how it's not just, oh my gosh, and this. This is like, it's the best. got rid of my boots. Oh, you can pull him back. I've never seen him start swimming away. So funny. But this also shows like what kind of power he's operating with. It's kind of horrifying. I like how they don't forget the mini bosses either. They throw them in the mix as well. You still hit him in the butt just like the freaking monkey. I love how they adapt every single fight into his own, like, warped version of it. I mean, it's insanity. It's... This is what the mind of a madman does with Ganondorf's power. And then for the final phase... Now it's just one-on-one. In front of Hyrule. Oh. Damn, I'm getting tossed around now. Oh. I like how he's not like Ganondorf. He doesn't know how to use a sword. He's just swinging like wildly. I mean, this fight exemplifies everything that makes Zant dangerous. And it's that he's chaotic. He just throws chaos into the world.
can't be okay, is it? You have aged in protected life.
Oh.
This game over. The business will open. Get to my room.
Don't give me the giggle after that, Midna. And with that, we get the final heart piece. Midna's story is... it is kind of brutal, you know? It is extremely tragic because it's this person desperately trying to move on from... there's like this past trauma of what people have done to other people, and her story is her trying to desperately move past it. And so you have two sides of the coin. You have, I mean, it's a tale as old as time. You have Midna trying to do the best for her people and give them lives and have them lead prosperous lives. But then you have Zant, who couldn't let go of what had been done to his people. But granted, you know, it was also what makes this situation unique is that ultimately it was, there's like this continued punishment of the people of Twilight to be isolated and cast away into this realm for something their ancestors did centuries and centuries and centuries ago. And still they are cast away. And Zant is the byproduct of such an extreme choice. Zant is the byproduct of such an extreme punishment done to an entire people. For, like, as Midna said, for the actions of basically just their old king. They lost their king to greed. And then Zant ultimately lost because of the same thing. He was shunned by his people because he wanted to make a grab for the same power that got his entire people into this position to begin with. But then ultimately also too, I think what was revealed in these scenes is that that's really not what it was ultimately either. Because if you want to do something to better the lives of your people, that's one thing. But Zant didn't improve the lives of his people. This isn't a Black Panther Killmonger situation. What Zant wanted was not going to help his people. Ultimately, as we saw, he subjugated his people. He defiled his homeland. He defiled the magic of his ancestors. He defiled his own culture, essentially, turning to the darkness of some other false god. And he turned, and when his people would not walk with him, he mutated them all. He threw their entire world into turmoil and then targeted an entire other world full of people and threw that into turmoil. And it wasn't because he wanted to help his people. It was because ultimately maybe it was about that at some point. Maybe that's how it started. But then when he was turned away from, when he was outcasted the first time, when he was shunned for wanting to become king in order to lead his people basically to war with the people of the Realm of Light, when he was shunned for that, his goal shifted from the betterment of his people to simply just the betterment of himself. It was that childlike need to stick it to somebody, to prove that he could do it, to prove that he could be king, no matter what it takes. And he was a child who didn't get what he wanted, and he threw a tantrum. That's what the entire game was. I think and I love that. It's one of those reveals. It's one of those, because the whole game, Zant is this imposing figure. We only ever hear, at first, you only ever hear his name. You only ever see the things he's done. And then you meet him face to face, and it's a haunting scene. He almost kills you, Midna, and a light spirit all in one go, easily. He almost does all this. And it creates this idea. You create this idea of him in your mind, of this mastermind, this great evil being waiting at the end of this long journey. But then you realized, no, this guy was a putz. he was a crybaby. He literally threw a fit. The moment you walk into his room, he starts throwing a fit. He starts stomping around. He starts screaming. The whole time you're fighting him, you expect to be confronted with this great almighty power, and what he does is nonsense. It's utter nonsense. He's not even original with how he does it. He takes you to every single place and tries to imitate all the monsters that he sent at you to fight you, which you defeated. It doesn't even make sense for him to do that. You've already proven that you could defeat tactics like that. And then when he's at the end of his rope and he has nothing else to grab for, nothing else to replicate, what does he do? He tries to fight you with the way you fight, and he doesn't know how. He's clearly not a swordsman. He was swinging his arms wildly, spinning around, making himself dizzy, tired. Throughout the whole fight, he's constantly tiring himself out, making himself dizzy, because he's just throwing a fit the whole time. He's like literally running out of breath throwing this tantrum. That fight, it's a beautiful fight. First off, I mean, visually, it's an amazing fight. Jumping back to all these locations, hearing the music from all these other bosses slip in and out of his warped boss track. it's amazing, and it creates this it creates like utter chaos, right? And that's kind of ultimately what Zant was. Zant was not a planner. He was not an intellect. An intellectual. He was not a man with a grand master scheme. He was a child, and that's what made Zant. That's really what made Zant scary. He was a child who was given the power of the gods. And then we got to see what happens to that, which was just utter chaos, aimless, meaningless chaos. He usurped Hyrule, steeped it in Twilight, and then what? He didn't do anything. He didn't do anything with that. He didn't move to control all the rest of the world or whatever else there may be outside of Hyrule. He just took it all and then sat here in his throne and called it a day. And that's all there was to it. It was aimless. When Ganon took the power of the Sacred Realm, it was to subjugate, to control. It was all about control in Ocarina of Time. When Ganondorf makes his moves in Wind Waker, it was all about the slowly waiting, building up power again, to eventually find Hyrule, find a way to, and then raise it back out of the ground. He wanted to reinstate Hyrule to have an entire land that he could control himself. Zant goes to Hyrule, steeps it in Twilight, leaves, comes back here, turns all his people into like mindless Twilight beasts, and then doesn't do anything. He's not even in control at that point. All he's done is throw the entire world, both worlds, into chaos and then called it quits. And said, okay, I'm done playing. He got bored, almost. He got tired. He said what he wanted to do was to push his people back into the world of light, to combine both light and dark, the light and shadow, to make darkness, to create a new world where all these tribes are fused together, where both worlds, the world of light and the world of Twilight, are fused together. But he wasn't working towards that. He didn't accomplish that. It didn't even seem like he was making a plan to do that. He just said that just sounded nice. And then ultimately we land on Ganondorf. Ganondorf cast in here. Execution didn't work. Shattering his body and sending him into the Twilight Realm, broken, didn't work. Because Ganondorf is a person whose ambition, Ganondorf's thirst for power, the power he holds, and his ambition is what makes him linger from one game to another. It's what makes Ganondorf, and hearing the name uttered, it's what makes him a threat, is because through sheer force of will is Ganondorf able to survive from one game to another. Since all the way back from Ocarina of Time, he's still clawing his way back to every timeline, in every single new century, he's back and he's trying to do the same thing because he just can't stop. It's like an illness at this point. Now, we land on a somewhat controversial choice, though, right? Is that we are at max health, we're at the end of the game, we have full items, we have full everything, and then what they just told us was that there's more? Zant said that Ganondorf has been revived. Because all Zant was really doing, all he was truly working towards, was reviving Ganondorf. That's ultimately what this all builds up to. Even though the entire game builds up to Zant, Zant's whole goal ends up being to build up to Ganondorf, which is a controversial choice because we haven't come face to face with Zant. I mean, no, we haven't come face to face with Ganondorf. We have not spoken to him a single time. We have not seen the ramifications of what he's done to the world. We have not seen what the world has become because of Ganondorf. We've seen what the world has become because of Zant. But then ultimately having everything around Zant's character just be a stepping stone to lead up to Ganondorf, from a purely in-universe perspective, from a narrative perspective, in Ganondorf's ongoing narrative, having this dude, as powerful as he is, as deranged as he is, as threatening as he is to us throughout the game, like somebody like Zant is, right? To have Zant just be a stepping stone to lead to Ganondorf's rise once again is pretty hardcore. As far as like Ganondorf's ongoing narrative goes, that's pretty cool. That hits pretty hard. From the game's narrative, from the game's own personal narrative, having all this build up and lead up to Zant to have a most satisfying boss fight against Zant ever, to then be told that this isn't it, to then be told that like this is not the end bit, that was not the final boss, even though that could have easily been the final boss. With how crazy that fight is, teleporting all over the world, that could have easily been a final boss, right? To then have the twist be, oh, by the way, it was Ganondorf the whole time. He's actually the real final boss. It's sort of, it doesn't necessarily stick the landing as hard as maybe they want. You could argue that they didn't need Ganondorf. You don't need Ganondorf. And they've shown they don't need that. They've done other villains before, and sometimes the villains can be just as good, if not better in their own way. But again, I think part of what that shows here in this game, the very existence of this game, was meant to give people what they wanted, which was a dark, gritty, very traditional Zelda game. And ultimately, that's what you get, which means you have to have Link, and you have to have Zelda, and they probably felt like they had to do Ganondorf in order to achieve that modern Ocarina of Time feeling that they were going for. Here's the thing, I don't personally dislike it, I don't mind it that much, but I will admit that, yeah, it's kind of a shame that everything, after you make it to this part and you have this final fight with Zant, everything immediately shifts away from Zant. And he becomes just a pawn that was being used for some other big bad guy who we've hardly heard of, hardly spoken of, hardly know of, haven't even come face to face with in this entire game. And I think that it's a shame. I think that that's a shame because it kind of shafts Zant, who is an amazing character and an amazing villain by himself. And then finally, final thing to land on is Midna. Midna, who is an amazing character. Through and through, amazing character. I like the reveal that her curse goes deeper than, because the magic is from Ganondorf, having the power of her ancestors does not, and defeating Zant and gaining the rest of the power does not give her back her true form. I love the idea that the reality sets in that she may very well have to just live like this for the rest of her days. I also like that her line saying, "People rejected you. Your people rejected you because of your eyes. They could see in your eyes your true intention," which reveals, of course, that from the very start, even if Zant told himself what his intentions to help his people, his intentions were to help his people, deep down, it was always for power. But then, also, in a moment of rage, watching Midna easily just stick her tendrils into Zant and pop him like a balloon. It's strange. It's creepy and eerie, and it's, again, I like the way they do magic in this game, because it's very it's not magic with glimmers and effects and sparkles and casting spells and shouting spell names out. No, it's strange, otherworldly magic that inflates a person until they pop into little tiny shreds of fabric. It's creepy. It's weird. And even Link was absolutely shocked at that moment. And then, of course, the disturbing reveal from Midna when she said that was a fraction of it. We see her get all the pieces of Fuse Shadow back. We think, oh, dang, that's what you can do a person now that you have full power. And then she says, that was like a fraction of it. I just meant to hit him. She probably just meant, it's almost as if she meant to punch somebody and shot him instead, you know? It's like going to slap somebody and they erupt and they burst into flames. And the utter fear on her face. And I think this is when it sets in for her that, like, the power wielded by her people, that perhaps may be the reason they were cast here, as drastic as it seems to curse the entire lineage, an entire tribe of people, into the void for the mistake of just their old king made. As drastic as that may seem, it seems like maybe she had a moment where she realized, if this is what a fraction of this power has, that we wielded has, imagine what all of it could do. And then imagine if all of this power that we wield, that I can wield, imagine if that power escaped, was set upon another world, another people, was used for evil purposes. And we've seen that throughout the game, but seeing what it's like, all of it coming together, it would be enough to plant in somebody's mind that maybe there was good reason to banish anybody who could wield such a power, to banish them into utter isolation. Not that I would personally agree with that, but it could easily plant that idea in your head, and we might be seeing the ramifications of that coming up. Next time, we will be finishing the final side things there are to do, which is just one thing from what I remember. All we have to do is the Cave of Ordeals, and then after that, it's off to Hyrule Castle. If you enjoyed this, you can press all the buttons and stuff that you can press when you enjoyed something. And if not, then don't do that, I guess. I don't know. You hit subscribe, you hit the bell, comment. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Whatever you want to do. Until then, I'll see you next time.
Would evolve and see.